All right, so I'm gonna give a quick introduction, Sean. I have my laptop. I don't know why. I have a touch screen laptop, and periodically a screen would just pop out of nowhere. I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully, I'm not being compromised. Okay. All right, Sean, you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
All right, sounds good. Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMS session. Today we have a project called Operation Pheonix with us. Operation Pheonix is set out to be the ecosystem of 2024. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Sean from the team. Sean, it's a pleasure having you here. If you can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us a bit of insight into your background and experience.
Yeah, for sure. First off, thanks for having us. But my name is Sean, for those that don't know me, or otherwise known as DeFi Sean. So I got into crypto about 2017, bought my first Bitcoin, was playing around for years doing that until I got into DeFi. Like I'm sure most people listening to this, right around that Safe Moon craze, which Safe Moon was, or what happened with Safe Moon, I should say, was a big inspiration for Operation Pheonix coming to fruition. But yeah, after I got into DeFi, started making lots of connections, started investing in different cryptos, kind of unwittingly forming a following, if you want to say, a lot of connections, which led to my partner and I, Mike, creating Crypto on Cause Investing, which that led to me creating a YouTube channel, Crypto on Cause Investing, which I currently run, been doing that for about a year. So that's me. We also have Squidgrow Joe on the team. For those that don't know him, which a lot of people do at this point, he was Safe Moon Joe. He was probably Safe Moon's biggest influencer. Not probably. He was definitely Safe Moon's biggest influencer at a point. So he's on board with this. And then we have Mike, who again is my partner in Crypto on Cause Investing, has tons of connections in the background from CMC and CoinGecko listings. In the real world, we're all businessmen, I guess you can say. Mike owns his business. I am in real estate. I flip houses, all that fun stuff. As far as my real life goes. Now, that's the team. If you want, I can kind of hop in and kind of give you the backstory of Operation Pheonix, kind of how we got started, how we got to where we are today, and all that good stuff.
Awesome, Sean. Yeah, thanks for the introduction there. 100%, you've been around the space for a long time, and I've gotten to know you a bit. This is your third time here. Very ambitious person, and I love that. I love that. Yeah, so go ahead and give us a backstory on Operation Pheonix and how you guys got started.
Yeah, for sure. So Operation Pheonix was actually born probably about a year ago. Now, at the time, the whole point was to, after everything kind of started to fall apart, at least what we knew falling apart, Joe had a lot of inside knowledge, and that's kind of when Joe kind of made his exit from Safe Moon. But, we kind of wanted to recreate that community, because say what you want about Safe Moon, and there's a tons of bad things to say about Safe Moon. The community was absolutely amazing. It was probably, in my opinion, like nothing we've ever seen before. So, we really wanted to create that, but we knew it wasn't the time. A lot of people didn't know what we knew. We knew that if we tried to do something like this at that point in time a year ago, that it just wouldn't work. So we kind of just shelved it. Then, of course, everything went down with the public stuff that happened with Safe Moon, their CEO, it's not trading anymore, all that stuff. So we got together with Joe, and yeah, we decided now was the right time to do it. But we knew that if we were going to be tying ourselves to Safe Moon, and being ambitious like that with everything tied to it, there were certain things that had to be kind of knocked out. So first off, it started with security. We had to make sure that the contract was airtight. We had our contract audits done through InterFi, no blacklist, no raising the tax above 5%, which is where it's currently at, 5% buy, 5% sell, no pausing, no minting, none of that stuff. We went ahead and got our KYC through Assure DeFi, who I'm actually partnered with on my channel, but one of the best KYC companies in the game. Also, myself and Joe are completely doxxed on our YouTube channel. I mean, I upload YouTube videos almost every day. You can 100% see my face. Not to mention, Joe and I hold, which I just came from, our Pheonix Friday, every single Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, where we hop on, Joe and I do, and we talk everything Operation Pheonix. We release the news, we release what's coming up, all that fun stuff, talk to the community, answer questions, kind of akin to like Safe Moon Sundays, which they used to do. We kind of wanted to recreate that. So we had the security taken care of. After that, it came into the backing. We had to have the right people behind it. Obviously, we had their biggest influencer being Joe. We had myself, who I came in a little bit after Safe Moon, so I didn't have that huge Safe Moon following behind my channel, but we had me. Then we got Crypto Atlas on board, who is a huge asset to the community. He makes almost daily videos at this point. We got Crypto Zeus, Tyler Hill, my financial friend, Connor Kinney. The roster goes about 20 deep. So we pitched it to everyone. We got everyone on board, ready to go for launch to start spreading the word about Operation Pheonix. Next up, we knew we couldn't be like Safe Moon and just talk about utilities. We knew that if we were going to do this, we had to deliver on those utilities. So day one, we had staking, 2 different options, a 14-day and a 30-day. So that was live day one. We had our very own sellless DEX ready to go day one, which we'll talk about some more utilities and how that kind of evolved into V2 at this point. But we had that ready to go day one. And we had our merch shop ready to go day one. Since then, we've released a lot of other utilities, but that was just kind of the start of it. So we had security, that was checked. We had the right people behind this, which was obviously a necessity to be able to do something on this scale. And then the utilities live day one, like I said, we had the merch, we had the DEX, and we had the staking. And we can kind of, as this conversation goes along, kind of tell you about some of the other features that have been released and utilities that have been released and all that good stuff.
Wow. So yeah, you guys do have a lot of people that's backing the project up, but like you said, not only you've been in the space for a long time, but you do run a YouTube channel yourself, as well as Squidgrow Joe?
Yes, he is currently Squidgrow Joe. He was formerly Safe Moon Joe. That's kind of where he made his name. Because, you know, when Safe Moon was released, I mean, easily he'd launch a video and have like 40,000 views in the snap of a finger. That's just how crazy it was in that Safe Moon hype. But yeah, he's Squidgrow Joe currently. Is kind of how he built his following and why he was such an important part to this. I know most people kind of know Safe Moon, but Operation Pheonix was something that Safe Moon always talked about that never came to fruition. We don't even know if exactly we know what it was exactly, but that was the inspiration behind the name Operation Pheonix. Was that was kind of our tie into Safe Moon to kind of, you know, tell people that we are what Safe Moon should have been, which was kind of how we started off when we first launched. But we realized that moving forward with different KOLs, they actually preferred that we didn't have that association with Safe Moon. So as time went on over the past 2 months, we kind of slightly changed our logo a little bit and kind of started to distance ourselves from Safe Moon and actually just become Operation Pheonix, kind of independent of that.
And I think that's actually a great decision because as we all know what had happened to the founders over in Safe Moon, right? Now, regardless what you think about them, what happened, the situation, but yeah, Safe Moon was one of the hottest projects launched. And I remember Safe Moon. Now, actually, I was in Safe Moon. Actually, I'm very familiar with Joe as well. He was actually one of the big influencers over the Safe Moon. In fact, when Squidgrow launched the project, when he first came to our first AMA, his name was still Safe Moon. Then I think over time he actually changed to Squidgrow. I think I think he just went over there. But yeah, no, I remember the transitions from Safe Moon Joe to Squidgrow Joe. So he's a pretty big guy, well-known guy out there for sure.
Yep, he is.
Now, Sean, are you would you say that you are the leader of the project here, Operation Pheonix?
So I wouldn't classify myself as the leader. So the way we kind of launched it, I'm not the CEO. We don't have any COOs. While I do kind of take that leadership role, we're just label ourselves as the founders. The token itself is completely community driven. Pretty much every major decision that has been made for the token itself has been, again, community driven. It's a project that was always set out to be for the token to be for the community, not for us. Now, obviously, you need a leadership team. You need a group that's going to kind of speak for the masses and for the community. So I guess you can say that's what I am. But yeah, I guess guess you would say, yeah, the spokesman for the community along with Joe.
Okay. Good. You guys kind of like the PR in a way. I think that kind of makes sense just because you guys already doing you guys already having a YouTube channel, which you guys
yes. That's almost a
So,
full-time job in itself running that business. So for sure.
right, which is really, actually that's actually very beneficial to a project. So you guys are just not like a nobody, just started a project. You guys been around the space for a long time. You have an established YouTube channels, which we all know it does help spreading awareness to the project. So yeah, I think great. Looking at your team, you guys have put together a great team as far as the reach and the the influence that you guys have out there. So I think you guys did a great job of assembling a team from Operation Pheonix here. But I do want let's get into the utilities. Your mission statement is you guys want to be the ecosystem of 2024, and you guys looks like you guys are very ambitious.
Yes. So yeah, let's get into that.
Sounds good. So when you guys launch, you guys have staking, and you guys got your DEX, and you got your merge. Now, one thing that really stood out to me as I was reading, it says your DEX is sell less DEX. Let's get into that. What is that about?
All right. So let me start with this. So that was V1. Now we hopped over to V2. Now our sell list is an option, but not something that comes standard because not every single contract can accommodate the sell list feature. But let's start there since you brought up. So what sell list means is that every time or when you have a token, when let's say there's a 5% tax, every time that tax or someone buys and someone sells, that 5% tax is collected inside the contract once in the form of tokens. So with this case, let's take Operation Pheonix. So every time someone buys and sells Operation Pheonix, 5% of that buy is taken in Operation Pheonix tokens and stored in the contract. When a certain threshold is hit, be it 100,000 tokens, 50,000 tokens, whatever that number is, it goes ahead and sells the chart. Obviously, that puts a sell on the chart, sometimes hurts, morale. People don't know that it's the contract selling. They think it's investors selling, different things like that. Well, with the sell list tech, what happens is at the time of the purchase, 5%, if that's the tax, is held back to the side, and BNB, which is what they purchased with, and it's set there to be distributed to the marketing wallet, to the LP, wherever it needs to go, and then the other 95% is put in the LP. Therefore, the contract never sells itself. It just creates the optics of a way, way better looking chart. But that is literally just the beginning of our DEX. So we just released V2 of our DEX. We're about to start getting partners on there. Our first one is actually probably going to come today. Now, the way we work is the exact opposite of PancakeSwap. For those that don't know, it's kind of hidden a lot. PancakeSwap takes fees when you make a buy or sell. They skim liquidity, means that they store some of the tokens and they sell them later on, which obviously hurts the chart. So instead of hurting the project, the idea with the Infinity Swap, which is the name of our new DEX, is to help the project. Now, the way it works is we don't base it on percentages. So you can make a $50,000 buy. We're going to collect a $1 charge per transaction. So every time you buy, there's a $1 charge. Every time you sell, there's a $1 charge, regardless of that fee. Now, 10%, so 10 cents of that dollar is going to get kicked back to the project that's on there. So project A launches, someone buys it, 10 cents of that dollar gets kicked back to that project for marketing, for buying and burning, things like that. Obviously, Operation Pheonix is the native token. So a portion of that is going to buy and burn our token. A portion of that is going to go to our marketing. A portion of that is going to do something called trade mining so that it buys Operation Pheonix and stores it. And everyone that buys and sells on our DEX will get a cut of Operation Pheonix. So if you're buying project A, B, and C, which has nothing to do with Operation Pheonix, you're just making transactions, you're actually going to have in the DApp that you're buying and selling, there's going to be a section where you go and look, and your Operation Pheonix is going to be building up for just buying and selling on our DEX, which is a really cool way for Operation Pheonix to get more holders. It rewards people for using our DEX. It just adds buys to the chart. All that good stuff. Another thing that we're doing is Defi Mark is actually a partner, a development partner of ours. People may also know him as SafeMoon Mark. He was another one of the biggest influencers in SafeMoon at the time of SafeMoon. So again, we got everyone on board with this project, which was one of our goals. He's doing a lot of stuff that SafeMoon wouldn't allow him to do. We're just unleashing him, and he's kind of doing his thing. Now, he has a technology, which is something that I can't really explain right here without taking forever, called Surge. Excuse me. Now, with that technology, every time you buy and sell within that technology, the price of it goes up. Now, it is something that isn't quite there yet. We wanted to have it on launch, but he had to pull it back for a second because he found some stuff that he needed to fix. So what's going to happen is when a project uploads to our DEX, it is going to be paired with a surge wrapped BNB. So you're going to have project A tokens, 50%. And then the other 50% is the wrap BNB, the surge wrap BNB. So every time a project is bought or sold on our DEX, half of every single underlying asset of every single project will go up in value. So let's say your project C and someone buys project A or sells project A, project C will go up in value, or at least the underlying asset, half of it will go up in value because someone else is transacting on a DEX. So the whole point of it, once it's implemented, which should be sooner than later, is that the wrap BNB across the entire DEX, it just goes up and up and up in value. So if there's 1,000 tokens trading on our DEX, every single time a transaction happens, the value of our wrap BNB goes up for every single token. So let's say the thousands token listed has no buys and no sells. Nothing's happening, but the other 999 tokens are buying and selling. People are. That token is going to go up in value because half of that asset, which is the wrap BNB, along with their tokens, is going to be going up in value. So it's absolutely game changing. It's something that we've never seen before. And yeah, it's a big marketing campaign that we're about to push off, is to get the word out about Infinity Swap, because we're doing some really cool things with Mark over here as far as the DEX goes. So yeah, that's the DEX.
Wow. That's actually very interesting. So just to recap.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. So I just want to recap so that way our community understands it better. So unlike your regular DEXs out there, where if there's a tax, usually it will accumulate the tokens, or it will sell the tokens itself, right, onto the chart to pay out.
Correct.
So unlike you guys actually take it before it hit the DEX. So take the BNB, you guys take the stable coin instead of taking the tokens, right? The native tokens, correct?
Correct. So when the purchase is made with the BNB, it is held back for whatever your tax is, and then the rest is distributed. So it never actually goes into your token. So at the end of the day, it's the same exact thing. You're just taking out the sell on the chart. But yeah, you said it exactly right.
Exactly, which is actually, so what that does is that, you guys go out there, you guys look at most of the projects with taxes. Usually what happens is that it will tax you guys with the native token, and it has to sell into the chart in order to get the taxes to pay out, right? So these guys take the BNB beforehand. So what that means is that it doesn't have to sell the chart. And on top of that, you said V2, where you guys not only incentivize people to use your DEX, but also there's a percent of every transaction goes back to the project that will be listed on your DEX as well, correct?
That's correct.
Back to the marketing.
Exactly. So instead of taking from them like Pancake Swap does, we're giving back to the project, which just creates an overall better ecosystem, which at the end of the day, that's everyone's goal.
That's actually very smart of you guys to do that. So now you guys literally incentivizing everyone involved, right? For projects, for users as well. Yeah, that's a very smart way of going about it. Now, when do you see the V2 fully functional as per plan there, Sean?
So we actually did have it go live a couple days ago. Hopefully within a couple of weeks, we have the surge wrap technology implemented. But in the meantime, we are still going to be taking projects on. You still get your fee upfront for when you buy, you sell. If you want, we can always, again, we're going to add that sellless technology. So in the meantime, you can hop on board. And then once the surge wrapped version of the BNB is up and running, it will be implemented at that point. But again, we don't like to give timelines. That's something that SafeMoon and a lot of other projects do or did that obviously never goes good. We all know in crypto, timelines are extremely hard. But yeah, hopefully soon we will have that taken care of.
Okay, now with your DEX, now is this like a cross-chain DEX or?
It will be. So BSC is going to be what we're starting out with. So only BNB projects can list right now. We're kind of using that as our proof of concept, get it working, showing everyone it works, all that good stuff. And then after that point, we'll pretty much be implementing any and all EVM chains that are going to be taking part of it. So, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Polygon, Avalanche, all that good stuff will be implemented, and that will be available for you to list your tokens if you're on those EVM networks. So right off the bat, BSC, and then we will shortly be moving to additional chains.
Okay. Now, since you mentioned PancakeSwap earlier, like how similar it is to PancakeSwap, but what is the fees like compared to PancakeSwap? I'm not sure. I can't remember the rate that they charge per transaction. Is it 0.025? Is that what it is? Or
yes.
If it is, how are you guys comparable to that?
Yep. So I want to say anything under $200. They're slightly less than us. Anything over that, we obviously are going to destroy them. Anyone trading thousands or millions would obviously hugely benefit off of using our DEX. But think about it like this. Let's say you put in $50, which is going to cost you $1 on our DEX. Maybe it costs you a little bit less on PancakeSwap. But let's say you do a crazy X and you sell out for $7,000. Well, now you're paying that way higher fee getting out of PancakeSwap as opposed to getting out of InfinitySwap, because ours is only going to be a $2 flat fee round trip. You buy, it costs $1. You sell, it costs $1, even if you made $100,000 profit, which is awesome.
That's actually very interesting. I like that. Actually, you're right. So you guys have a fixed amount versus a percent. So let's say if I was to transact like a big amount, then I'd rather go with a fixed amount. So that's actually really interesting. Huh.
Yep. Another thing too, let me add this, is that we are aware that our DEX is not going to have a crap ton of volume on it day one. It's normal. Getting people to notice it, getting all the people on it. Of course, with us, it might be a slight bit easier. Defi Mark has tons of connections. Joe and I have connections, all that fun stuff. So that can help. But we do have it set up to where if you want to get the PancakeSwap LP, which you very much can, and then you get the InfinitySwap LP like we do, because we have two LP pools. We have our LP on our DEX and we have an LP on PancakeSwap. But we can also set you up free of charge an arbitrage bot between PancakeSwap and InfinitySwap, which 50% of the profits will get kicked back to you, which is what we have set up. So we have our own arbitrage bot set up that keeps the price on PancakeSwap and keeps the price on our DEX even. And then the profits that are made come back to our wallet, and then we buy and burn with those projects so that all those funds always stay in the LP no matter what.
Interesting. Now, what is the strategy for you guys going out there and get these newly launched projects or even existing projects to be on your DEX?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, like I said, it starts with Mark. Mark's going to be a big spot because he deals with so many devs as a developer. Same thing with me and Joe. We constantly get projects coming to us. I actually had 4 projects ready to go a couple weeks ago, but crypto being crypto, they all pretty much are gone at this point by the time we actually launched the DEX. So that was very, very unfortunate, because we all know the earlier you get into a project, the better. Another thing is that we're doing that's huge, and I'm glad you said that, was we're doing a referral fee. So any project or any investor that has a project that brings it to us to launch on InfinitySwap, they will get 10 cents of every transaction themselves for the lifetime of the project as a referral fee. So what's going to happen is that you bring project A to us. You obviously have to let me know. We'll get you set up, get your wallet, and you will get a 10-cent kickback every single transaction that happens for the project that you bought us. Now, the project there, let's say project A, they still get their 10 cents as well, but the person that refers them will also get a 10% or 10-cent kickback or 10%. So there's a referral fee of 10% for referring people, which is something that we are pushing very hard. Like any crypto, we can't do it just us. We need the help of the community. And this is potentially a very big incentive if this thing takes off, if you know other projects that you can get to list on us, which obviously Operation Pheonix doing well, which we have been. We hit 110x at our all-time high. That'll get people on board easily too. But yeah, if you are an investor, you know a project, you want to bring them to InfinitySwap, they successfully list, you will get 10% of every transaction fee that they sell or that they make for the life of the project.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. So for those that are listening right now, so if they bring in a project that gets listed on your DEX, so every transaction, whether it's big or small, they earn 10 cents per transaction, correct? So that means 10 transaction, that's what? That's $1, isn't it?
That's correct. Yep, that's how it works.
Interesting. Huh, okay.
Yeah, so just a very good incentive to help spread the word. Because traditional marketing necessarily is going to be for increasing the value of your token, which is appealing to holders, not to devs. So it's a little bit different strategy that we have to take because we're trying to reach devs, not holders in this scenario.
Okay, yeah. It seems like you guys really, really thought this whole strategy out. It literally incentivizes everyone involved, right? The project to the traders, even to the referral with your referral program as well. Yeah, very well thought out.
Exactly. But if you want, let's kind of transition to staking because we have a staking thing that ties to the DEX. So yeah, if you don't mind, we can kind of go on to that utility next.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
All right. So we have our staking. So I'm about to blow your mind with how many tokens we have staked. My mind gets blown every day when I think about it. So we have a 14-day staking that's going to yield you a 5% APY. That's going to be a 14-day lock. Those tokens that are currently in that pool are 556,000, which is basically just 0.5% of the supply. We also have a 30-day staking pool, which will yield you a 10% APY. We have 10.7, so 10,700,000 tokens in that supply right now. That's locked for 30 days. We also have a 6-month auto compounding staking pool, meaning that if you stake 100 tokens and then you earn 10 tokens, the next day, you're earning the compounding on 110 tokens, then 121 tokens, then 132 tokens, or however that percentage adds up. So that's 6 months. We have a staggering 36.1 million tokens locked up. So we have basically 50% of our entire supply staked right now, which is absolutely awesome and humbles us just thinking how big the community got behind us, and that 50% of them are willing to stake and get behind our vision. But with that being said, we also started something called burn swapping. Now, what that is we have two different pools. We have a pool we call the Piranha pool. So you're going to take these tokens and burn them. So there's a minimum of 4.2 thousand tokens that you have to burn. So if you want to get into this Piranha pool, you can burn 4.2 thousand tokens and up. Now, with that, you're going to hold a certain percent of that burn supply. Now, what happens is that with our DEX, 5% or 5 cents of every single transaction gets sent to the Piranha pool. Now, depending on how much percent you own, depends how much of that 5 cent you get. So let's say you put in 10,000 tokens and there's 100,000 tokens in the pool. You own 10% of the Piranha pool. So you would get 10% of that 5% of every single transaction for the life of the DEX, for as long as it lasts. If it lasts 20 years from now, you're still getting that. Now, the trade-off is the tokens that you send in, they're burnt and they're gone forever. So we've actually already burned 109,791 tokens for people getting into the Piranha pool, and they're going to be getting a portion of 5 cents of every single transaction that transacts on Infinity Swap, which is our DEX. We also have a whale pool, meaning that this pool is going to get 15 cents of every single transaction that happens on our DEX sent to the whale pool. We've already had almost 3% of the supply by whales. They burnt, it's gone, can never be sold, never be seen again. And it works the same exact way. If you own 15% of the whale pool, of that 15 cents that comes in on every single transaction, you will get 15 cents for the life of the DEX, which hopefully it's here forever. So we have our regular staking, and then we also have burn staking, and the numbers are absolutely crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen people burning tokens and staking tokens at this rate for basically any project. So just kind of wanted to shout out to the community how awesome they are. And again, we always say how humbled we are that they have faith in us to get this done and are willing to put their money on the line and their tokens on the line and trust us with that.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of the number there. You said 50% that's been locked up. Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys are doing out there, there's a lot of trust there.
Yep. So to touch on that even more, we have 50% locked up, and we have another 20% or 17%, I think to be exact, locked up in our deployer wallet for centralized exchanges and things like that. So what essentially only about 30-ish% of tokens are even available on the market to be sold, which is absolutely wild.
That is actually pretty, considering how young the project is. Now for the pool, I forgot the name that you mentioned there. So those pool are pretty much to incentivize the LP, right? Liquidity for the DEX, correct?
Yes. So those are so we had my private group, and we had a lot of following getting into this. We had a pre-sale, so we did end up with a certain number of whales because they got in early and were fortunate enough to get 110x. Well, a lot of them held their tokens and they're still holding today. So, they're holding, some of them maybe even 6 figures worth of tokens. So this was kind of a good trade-off to see if people would be willing to give up some share of their tokens to get a share of the DEX. And pretty much the people that participate in the Piranha and the Whale burn stake pool are basically becoming investors within the DEX. So yeah, it was a way to incentivize people to give up some of their tokens so that we can kind of make that LP stronger by again 3 million tokens, which I'm not sure what the value of that is. It might be 100,000 has been burnt. So that's absolutely awesome that they did that to receive that passive income. And again, if this DEX takes off like we are aiming to do, I mean, that could be a potential lot of money in kickbacks. I mean, you can just do the math. If you even just did 5% of what PancakeSwap does on a daily basis, it would be absolutely insane. So it's a little bit of risk reward there. And yeah, super excited that so many people decided to, hop on that and take the journey with us.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. And the fact that for the people that actually participate in those Piranha pool or the Whale pool, and you said that those tokens are completely burned, correct? To receive that
Gone.
percent, gone.
Exactly.
So it's not your regular LP input where you can input and earn a fee over in PancakeSwap or over in Uniswap, where you can actually able to get your LP token out. So with you guys literally burn those tokens.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
People chose to get on there. We actually had a whale burn 1 million of his tokens, which I want to say was easily $30,000. I mean, I'm not going to dox him. I know who it is, but yeah, they burned 1 million tokens right off the bat.
Yeah. So ultimately, that actually really, really helped with your native tokens, right? I think you guys only have 1 token, but it really helps with your total supply. Yeah, very interesting.
Exactly.
And now regarding the 6 months, you say the 14 days, 5% APY, 30 days, 10% APY. What is the APY for the 6 months?
Sorry, so that's 50%. Yep, so that is up there. Now, with that, what we're doing is a certain portion of the DEX fees is funding that. Our Launchpad, which we can touch on in a minute, is launching that. Our Swapper, which again we can touch on in a minute, is funding that. So the goal is to not gift the stake and pool tokens, but to use the revenue that we have coming in to buy the tokens for the staking. So we're not just pulling from the supply and giving people free tokens and letting them sell. We're going to be funding that through the revenue resources that we have set up.
That's actually, I think that's the way that every project should do it, is to actually generate revenue, right, and to feed the staking pool. Because what happened is a lot of the projects out there, right, and they always promise great APY and great APR, whatever, right? But the problem is that you're literally just giving out tokens, and ultimately, if you don't have, if you don't have a way to counterbalance that, you're going to end up just messing up your chart, messing up your project. So you guys are not literally have tokens that are actually set aside for the staking pool, but you guys can actually have to buy the tokens from the revenue generated. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So when the staking pool needs to be up, we, for instance, we're going to be launching our first project on the Launchpad here in about a week and a half, which we can touch on that in a minute. But yeah, so like all the revenue that we're making, which is going to be right around $1,000, we'll be buying tokens and sending them straight to the staking pool. The DEX fees that we made, I think we've made about $2,000 in DEX fees since we launched. All of those tokens bought and then sent to the staking pool. And yes, list goes on. Same thing with the swapper. The money that we made from the swapper, bought the tokens and sent them over. We've actually burnt some in the process as well. But yeah, that's the goal. And you know, it's easier. It's not an easy thing. So having a revenue generating project is not just, it's hard. So a lot of people, you know, it sounds good in theory, and that everyone, yeah, I agree, everyone should do it, but it's a very hard thing to do, to have a project that legitimately makes money. And I'm just, you know, excited that we are able to be in the position that we actually do have a project that people want to be associated with, and that is making money and buying the chart and burning the chart and all that good stuff.
Well, I think that's the reason why we see so many projects fail, is because, you know, almost 80% of the projects out there, well, at least some of the projects that we see, you know, on some of the launch pads, they're all dependent on the taxes only, right? Which we all know.
Exactly, which dry up. Yep.
Exactly. So it's actually very crucial that to have a project that is actually generating revenue. But you guys have a lot of things going on, like the DEX here and the Launchpad as well. So yeah, so let's get into the Launchpad. Is that live or not yet?
So it's technically live. Now, right now, we may be changing it, but right now you are going to be whitelisted to launch, meaning that not just anyone can launch. So our first project, which they were just actually on Pheonix Friday, it's on our YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, highly recommend go and watch that. Give us a subscribe. Go ahead and like it, all that fun stuff. But we went over with the project there, Power to the People. It's the first project. We're only raising 25 BNB. And then, yeah, a portion of that will be coming back to Operation Pheonix to buy and burn. But not just that, it is also our goal to utilize our connections. Not only do I have my YouTube channel, but I work with Tyler Hill and his agency. And, you know, we bring him deals. I have the connections to get people deals. So like for Power to the People, we're going to have their YouTube campaigns like we had for Operation Pheonix and everything like that. Because our goal isn't just to raise money for the project. That's a secondary goal. Our main goal is to find good projects to bring to Operation Pheonix, to put their money in that is as safe as we can possibly make it. They get revenue kickbacks, but hopefully they also invest in something that they can make money in. They make some profits if they want. Hopefully they bring it back, maybe even buy some more Operation Pheonix. So that's the main goal of the Launchpad, is to provide good, safe projects for our community, which is our main goal.
So the projects will be going through a lot of scrutiny, where you guys will manually hand select and analyze and make assessment properly before even allowed to launch onto your Launchpad, correct?
Yes. So right now that's how it's set up. We're kind of having internal debates right now because, you know, we are potentially losing out on money we could be kicking back by opening it up to the public. You know, there's different ways. Right now it's whitelisted. If we did go that route and we do open it up, there'll be different ways. Like, you know, if you do go through the vetting process, you know, you would technically be like an approved project and things like that. You know, you would have our seal of approval. But yes, it is currently set up that you cannot launch unless you come through us and we whitelist your wallet. Not your wallet, your contract address and all that good stuff.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of safety measures in place to ensure that the project is legit, right? I know that we cannot prevent everything 100%, but there's be some sort of measure in place.
100%. Yep. And that's how I always put it. You can never in this world we live in called DeFi guarantee a safety of a project. Never. It's impossible to do. Even if you think you know the dev team, you can never guarantee that. But we are putting everything we possibly can in place to minimize those risks.
Awesome. Now, I just want to circle back really fast in regards to your token burn and supply. What to date right now, including the product pools and the whale pool and all, and everything involved. What percent of this total supply would you say that has been burned?
I think we're give or take 4%. So we have 100 million supply. We're roughly around 96 million. Now, keep in mind, the price of the token is almost 4 cents per token. So burning a lot of tokens in one big, like 1, 2, 3% is very hard. So yeah, we've already burned 4%, which is pretty darn good because our all-time high was about 11 cents. So yeah, we burned about 4% down to roughly 96 million. I want to say that, and yeah, available supply. So like again, when you take that into account, like 27% is actually available on the market to be sold, which again is wild.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But I think ultimately the way you guys set up with your decks and the pool, the liquidity incentivize, for the pool there. I think ultimately if the volumes picks up, I think that's going to be a lot of tokens going to be burned here, which is actually great for the project.
100%. Yep.
Now the Launchpad, Sean. So how does that look like? Walk with me through the process. Now, is this kind of those like how's your Launchpad look like? Is it like kind of like the pink cell, DXL, and other Launchpads that you have going on right now?
Yeah. So if you go over to our PheonixSwap.trade or OperationPheonix.network, you can click on the Launchpad, and then you're going to have launch a token or Launchpad list. So yeah, it'll look very similar. Like for instance, if you hit the Launchpad list, again, we're whitelisted, so nothing's on it right now. You'll have all the projects that are listed. You have the projects that are live, the projects that are upcoming, the projects that have ended, or you also have that launch a token option on the landing page, which obviously if you're whitelisted, you would go ahead and set up through there. But yeah, similar to Pink Sale, all of our stuff, our decks, if you know how to use PancakeSwap, Uniswap, you'll be able to figure out how to use our decks. If you know how to use Pink Sale, Gempad, you'll know how to use our Launchpad. So yeah, it's all set up in a pretty standard way to not cause any kind of, barrier of entry or learning curve or anything like that. Not to mention there will always be YouTube videos on how to do everything.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure you're aware of it, but from United States, I think you're from United States too. I actually had to use a VPN just to have access to your website, so I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that. But I couldn't get on for a long time.
That doesn't happen to everybody, but yes, that is something that our team is aware of. That people have said, like for me, I have no problem. I don't use a VPN. I'm in the US and I hop right on. But yeah, you're not the first person to say that. It is something that we're aware of.
Yeah, so actually I have my VPN on and I did click on the Launchpad here. And yeah, so it's actually it is live right now. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And yeah, like I said, on the 15th, we're going live with that. We're actually helping them again with the marketing. We're running, if you go over to my Twitter, to Operation Pheonix's Twitter, to Power to the People Twitter, we're running whitelist contests. You can always shoot me a DM. I can see about getting you directions on what you can do if you are interested in a whitelist spy, because, it is important that our first project goes off without a hitch. So yeah, if you are interested in potentially getting in on a launch, you can go ahead and reach out to me.
Awesome. All right. So what other things that you guys have going on? I know that you guys have you guys also want to build like a layer one or blockchain as well. Is that correct?
Yep. So before we go there, I'll touch on a couple things. So we also have our swapper, which is sellless. Now our DEX obviously requires LP. The swapper is a little bit less barrier of entry. I'll kind of, like I said, I'll go over quickly. I know we're running out of time. So the sellless swapper does not require LP. It routes through PancakeSwap, but again, it holds those taxes back so that anyone that buys through the swapper, even though you have the LP on PancakeSwap, the sell will never actually hit that chart. So we have that swapper, which is just another revenue generator. We also have something called the Burn Lotto. If you go on our website, the community asks for it. So we went ahead and built a lottery system to where, it's exactly what it sounds like. You buy tickets, there's random winners through Chainlink, and we burn tokens. We also have a Russian roulette game coming out very, very soon, which again, you guessed it, burn tokens. And then we have our NFT Launchpad coming out. We have our wallet, and we have our blockchain, which I know we might have said layer one. No, we clarified on the website. It'll be a layer one or layer two. We're actually leaning towards layer two. But yeah, we ultimately will end up, having our very own blockchain.
Wow. I mean, yeah, you guys are setting out to be the ecosystem of 2024 for sure.
Exactly.
I love the fact that everything is geared towards burning the native token. I love that.
Yep,
I mean,
everything's geared towards revenue for the token. It's the only way a token survives. And a lot of tokens at launch, it's just the devs trying to make a quick dollar. But it's the definition of insanity. We just keep launching tokens and tokens and tokens, and people just expect this token to be the one. And of course, there's exceptions, Pepe, Dogecoin, different things like that, where they actually do skyrocket and hold its value. But the vast majority of them do not. And if you want it to hold value, generating that revenue where you can buy tokens that can never be sold is what you need to do if you want to have a successful project. Other than that, if you're just relying on buy and sells, 99.9% of projects are going to fail.
100%, 100%. Yeah, awesome, man. So let's go back to the basics now. Now, how long ago did you guys launch the project?
We launched on February 1st. With 100K market cap, we went up to about 11 million, and we are currently at a 3.6, 3.7 million market cap. So holding steady, we've been consolidated there while we kind of been getting our decks built and everything. So very good, solid looking chart, and a little bit over 2 months old. So a lot has been done in 2 months, which is what our goal was. Any projects that's promising you stuff and they just keep promising and months have passed and they're not delivering, it's probably just talk. Because if you want to get things done, you definitely can get it done in a timely manner. I mean, we're proof of that.
Oh, okay. Hold on here. I'm not sure why my screen keeps on going away. Wow. So you guys launched at 100K, 100,000 market cap. So right now it's sitting at 3.5, correct?
3.5, 3.6, something like that. Yeah. If you're looking at it, I'm not sure. It's somewhere up in that range. Yeah, we hit our all-time high at about 11 million.
Ooh, 11 million from 100,000. Wow. And right now sitting at 3.5, man. Hey, congratulations on that. That's but I mean, look at that ecosystem. You guys have done a lot. You guys have done quite a bit. So I think that kind of reflects the chart kind of reflects that, right? So
Yep.
that's a lot of so you guys made pretty good money.
Well, you have to sell to make money, but yes, we're doing good.
Yeah, especially for your early investors right now. How was it launched? And what did you guys raise a private sale only, a pre-sale, and what launchpad did you guys go through?
So we did not go through a launchpad. The beauty of having influencers launch the token, we already have, our built-in community. So we raised 50,000 behind the scenes, which was the bare minimum that we needed to do what we needed to do. We, there's people that launch projects with blockchains and dexes, and they try to raise millions of dollars. Not necessary. The goal was to raise the minimal amount, but to still deliver what we wanted to deliver. So it was about 50,000 that we raised initially, which obviously led to plenty buying pressure and things like that when launch got upon us. But yeah, we didn't use any launchpad. We raised it ourselves.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because you went from 100K because usually 100K, that means that that's not a lot of money to begin with. So you guys did actually really build out the Did you guys like working on this project prior to launch? Like a lot of things got done, right? How long?
Yes.
Long have you guys been working on the projects like from the very beginning?
So, like I said, the idea was born about a year ago, but we've been like working, like building probably about 2 months before launch to have the decks and to have everything ready that we needed to have ready. It was about 2 months before we actually launched.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I think that's how it should be. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys only raised 50K just pretty much for the LP there. And yeah, well done. Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
appreciate it.
looking at overall the project, Sean, man, congratulations. I think that I mean, it looks really good to me. I have nothing bad to say about the project. I think it's actually very strategically thought out to your decks. to that the product and the whale pool to incentivize liquidity. But also the most important thing is those tokens are being burned as well. So what that means is that the people who participate in those pool, they cannot get back the tokens, which is crazy. But in return, you get that whatever the 5 cents or whatever, a percent of every single transaction.
Yep. Lifetime percent.
Yeah. So and if you guys just listening in, they do have a referral program as well. So on the DEX, if you actually refer a project to their DEX, if it gets listed in their DEX, you get 10 cents per transaction. So let's say if you refer a project that goes up to, let's say, 100 millions with a lot of volume, as you imagined, every 10 cents per transaction. That's actually incredible. That's actually yeah, well done, Sean. I think your project, it looks really good.
Like I said, I appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, so as far as like partnership goes, that's the only thing that's on the list that I have here. Well, actually, one question before we move on. Now, the project launched around a month ago. There isn't any vesting tokens that we should know about, right? That's left?
No. Everything is on the market, whether it be staked. The tokens that are reserved are strictly for like centralized exchanges and things like that. Now, not to pay for centralized exchanges, but to create the LP and everything on the centralized exchanges. So there's no vested tokens. There's not going to be any surprise flood of tokens on the market. What you see is what you get. As far as everything, the only thing that would be coming back on the market would be any tokens that are staked.
And you guys plan to go on centralized exchanges?
So yeah. So we are already listed on Bitmart and we are listed on 2bit. Now we're strategically choosing our centralized exchanges right now. For those that don't know, it's a big money making game behind the scenes when it comes to centralized exchanges. We could have been on tons of centralized exchanges already, MEXC being one of them, but they wanted a lot of money in tokens and different things like that, which they would have just sold down our chart and just completely defeated the purpose of getting on that. But we are on 2bit and we are on Bitmart. And as time goes on and the time's right, we're going to go ahead and get on additional centralized exchanges. So yes, in my very long answer, we are currently listed and we will be looking to list on more.
Okay. Because I think, some projects, I don't think it's necessary, especially with your project. I think if you're able to build out the Launchpad and, get the hype that you want, seems like you guys are on the way to do that. It seems like it's like it goes against your DEX in a sense, right? You pretty much giving volume somewhere else to the centralized exchanges, right? So, I don't know. Some projects I feel like it's necessary, but I think some projects I don't think, we've seen it where a project would do a lot better just on decentralized exchanges only.
Agreed. I know a lot of people like centralized exchanges. If it was just me, I would stay decentralized. But the community likes centralized exchanges and they want to see it, so that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I the value I think is on the decentralized side, which is what I like to operate on.
Me too, 100%. Awesome, brother. So just to recap, you guys have the staking going on right now. 50% for 6-month APY. That's compounded yield. You guys got the sell less DEX. A lot of incentives over there. Not just for the projects, but also for the people who refer projects to you guys, but also for the projects that get listed on there, because a percent of that is actually going back to the marketing. Now, how do you guys do that? Let's say if I list a project on there, like, do you guys have a dedicated wallet that you guys give to the project to get kickback on? How does that work?
So they would give us their wallet, and we have a contract that Mark set up that collects the taxes, and then it's going to distribute it to. So, for instance, their 10 cents will get distributed. Yeah, it's nothing manual. It will be distributed straight to their wallet of their choosing. We can even make it to where it buys and burns, your chart if you don't want the money directly to your marketing wallet. So we can just have it set up every time a buy happens, 10% of that buy, so 10 cents will get put into the pool. Once it hits a certain amount, whether it be 0.1 BNB, 1 BNB, whatever you want it, whatever it's going to be set at, we'll just go ahead and trigger and automatically buy and burn your token with no manual intervention.
Awesome. 5% sale on the tax, 5% sales on the buy, 4% marketing, 1% LP. And the Launchpad here is expected to be fully functional. You said on the 15th of this month?
Yes. So it's, it is technically fully functional already, but our first launch goes live on the 15th, correct?
Really? Okay. The first launch, huh?
Yes, sir.
The first project is usually always a great project, right?
Yes, like I said, we just had it's called Power to the People. We just had them on Pheonix Friday, so highly recommend hopping on over to our YouTube channel, Operation Pheonix, and you can check it out and see if it's something that you're interested in trying to get a whitelist spot for and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Usually a Launchpad, when a Launchpad launch a project, I mean, just common sense, right? They're always trying to get the best project out there first. So if you guys are listening, I will advise that you guys go check it out for sure. I would be. What is it called again? Power to the People, huh?
It's called Power to the People. Yep.
All right. I'll check it out for sure. All right. Sounds good, Sean. I think everything looks really good. Now, what would be the next big step? The next big step for Operation Pheonix? What is on the roadmap?
So the next thing that we're actually going to be actively working on now that the DEX is done is going to be the NFT Marketplace, so that we can get our NFTs on the market. Of course, you know that we're going to have some kind of utility behind it. So there is going to be a percent kickback from the DEX that's going to fund the NFTs. We're going to use a portion of the sales, at least 25%, to once again buy and burn the chart. So we're going to be collecting funds for the NFTs and sending it back to the LP, which is our ultimate goal, is to burn as many tokens and get that LP as high of a percent as we can possibly get. So yeah, that NFT Marketplace is going to be the next major thing on board. Like I said, we got the Russian roulette game coming up, which is going to be fun. We think people are going to have a good time with that. But the next major thing is the marketplace.
Awesome. Regarding the contract, is that renounced or?
It is not renounced. It is audited through InterFi. It's a very solid contract. Like I said, recommend anyone go check it out. No minting, no blacklisting, no none of that stuff. But yes, it is audited through InterFi, which you can hop on over to our Telegram, check out the filters, and you'll be able to check out that audit.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I asked is because I thought I read somewhere that says renounced. Maybe I
yes. So in the past, we were initially going to renounce because we wanted, again, security and safety to be the top priority. But after talking to the community and different things like that, we're building such a behemoth of a project, for lack of a better term, that we thought it would be smart to have access to the contract for whatever reason moving forward. Now, the LPs completely locked and verifiable. Again, going over to our Telegram, we can direct you where you need to go to see that it's locked. Everything's 100% safe, but yes, the contract is not renounced for strategic purposes.
100%. When I was actually reading that somewhere, maybe it was on your technical paper, but I was like, oh wow, how do these guys renounce a contract and able to build this massive ecosystem? But now that makes sense, because once you renounce the contract, for those that may not know, you cannot revise the contract. Pretty much you're gonna have to create a new contract, which is that's a lot of work. But yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, Sean. Well, that sounds great, brother. Great AMA. I think your ecosystem is massive. I love the ambition behind the ecosystem, and you guys have done an amazing job. I mean, you guys took it from 100K, 50,000 raised to $11 million dollar market cap, all-time high. Right now, sitting at 3.5. So you guys doing a heck of a job out there. Now, is this your sole focus right now, Sean, and your team? You would say?
Oh, yeah. So as far as crypto projects go, yes. Now, of course, I have my YouTube business that I run on the other side. But yes, as far as crypto goes, this is the only crypto we're launching moving forward. This is our sole focus. Our only mission is to make this the talk of the town, everyone to know what Operation Pheonix is. I kind of teased it in Operation Pheonix. I can't even talk about it other than just mention it. We have an NDA situation going on right now that will be closed out Monday or Tuesday to see if we land something that literally will make us the talk of the town. So stay tuned for that. Whichever way that falls, we'll see. But yeah, that's all I can say without getting sued or something like that. So stay tuned for that.
We won't tell. We won't tell. USA Crypto Group is pretty.
Yeah, it's just us and the rest of Telegram and YouTube and.
Right. All right. Since you have a YouTube channel and I'm sure you talk about crypto all day and you think about crypto all the time and you research crypto, I'm gonna pick your brain for a second. What is your sentiment of the market? Lately, the last couple of days, as you can see, there's a little dip with the halving coming up as well. What is your take on it? Are we coming back to all-time high again, or what do you think?
Honestly, I don't even know. It bucked the trend so much that I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. If you'd have asked me before this run up, no, it was just a false little run. We're going to drop back down. That's not what the cycle says it's going to do. But after seeing it, my gut feeling is that, yeah, I think we are going to make another run up. It's just my gut feeling. Again, we're in the point where there's really no historical data to go off of because what just happened wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, my gut is telling me that we are going to make another run here soon towards that all-time high, and hopefully that's right.
I think so as well. I think that's where my sentiment is at as well. I think we will see all-time high again. In fact, I think we may reach 100K at the end of this year. So that's my take on it, but we'll see.
I can't disagree with you on that.
Yeah. All right, Sean, well, it's been a pleasure, brother, having you back here again. I have nothing bad to say about the project. I think it's very well thought out, very strategically planned. Seems like, you guys really want to burn them tokens at every single angle within the ecosystem. And I love that, right? I love that. And that's for the investors, right? So ultimately, you are reducing the total supply, which ultimately brings value to the token. So, and I think the chart reflects that. If you zoom out, the chart is actually looking really, really good.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, Sean. You don't have a last word for us. Oh, actually, you know what? Should we take some questions from the community? Do you have time for that, or should I just direct them to your YouTube? To your Telegram.
I have about 5 minutes. Yep, I do have to go shortly, but I have about 5 minutes if there's any quick questions.
Actually, you know what, Sean? So if you go back, are you in a room right now? If you go under the comments, how about you pick one question and I pick one questions. Under that, I think there's like 183 comments in this room right now. Go to your banner, click on the comment, and let's pick one. You pick one, I pick one really fast. There's like tons of questions in there. Do you see the banner? So let me pick one here. Okay, so I think there's this person here. I think I don't think they have a layer 1 blockchain yet, but I'm gonna just go pick from Juna here. It says, let me click back. I'm not sure why my screen keeps on like going away. It says, how will Operation Pheonix ensure the security and reliability of its upcoming multi-chain wallet and layer 1 blockchain during development? Now, you guys have not started your layer 1 blockchain development yet, correct?
Yes. So any questions, I'm not really ready to 100% take questions on the wallet and the blockchain because, again, that's something that we haven't started yet. So, yeah, there will be a point in time, stick around, hopefully within the next handful of months here that we will be moving on to that. But answering questions about the wallet and blockchain would just be the speculation of what we're talking about, behind the scenes. So yeah, let's wait till that gets a little bit closer before we start, taking questions and answering questions about the wallet and blockchain. What I can say is that we do have the teams that are going to build it and they're ready to go. We're just not quite ready yet. But yeah, we do have the teams. They're solid teams. They've done it before on both sides of it, for the wallet and for the blockchain. So yeah, when that time comes, we can hop into that.
Sounds good. This is actually a very interesting question. Actually, this is towards Joe here, but maybe you can answer this here. It says, what inspired Squidgrow Joe to co-found Operation Pheonix? And what is his long-term goals for the ecosystem? So I guess what he's sent to me is that, currently right now he's in Squidgrow Joe, but what makes him decide to start another project with you?
Yep. So, I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, Joe blew up his entire channel because when he came out against SafeMoon was very much still in its run. He was making so much money off of that channel, and he blew up everything just to kind of tell everyone the truth. And, like a lot of us, he loved not even about the money that he made for making videos and views and stuff like that, but he genuinely loved it. He stayed up all night researching hints from SafeMoon, doing all that stuff. And that was something that he missed. He loved the SafeMoon community. He loved the holders. So, he kind of wanted to create something for himself that, along with us, to kind of bring that back, to bring back that SafeMoon community, was kind of his goal, along with ours, and why he chose to do it. I will say this: there's reasons why he hasn't changed his name. You could read between the lines for certain things, but there's reasons why he's still Squidgrow Joe and he hasn't changed that name. I'll just leave it at that for right now. But yeah, that's basically why he did what he did.
Yeah, plus he's also teaming up with a very influential team as well. You guys have put together a pretty good team. One more question here, or unless you have some more, want to take some more questions.
No,
it says,
no. Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, for someone experienced in DeFi, what one thing that really differentiate from your team and your project compared to other ecosystem?
Oh, well, again, it starts with the team. There's very, 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 very few teams that will launch with the connections that we have on the influencer side, on the development side. Not many projects can just raise $50,000 just to get going. So that's I guess that's the initial thing, is that we have the connections to make it work, which is why it's working. Like, a lot of projects will say like, oh, this Tyler Hill's, he's tweeting, let's go shill our project under his comments. Maybe we'll get his attention. Well, with our project, me or Joe just pick up the phone and give him a call. So we have these connections. We have these relationships. We don't have to do these like little side things to try to get people's attention. But also, I always say it, if you're not in our community, you've listened to me talk for over an hour now, and I'm just saying words, but I always say, come over to the community, watch Pheonix Fridays, watch us work, watch us deliver on everything to actually prove to you and show you that we're here doing what we're supposed to be doing. I just burned 9,200 tokens from the arbitrage bot, just showing you that everything's on the up and up, and we're actually doing what we're going to say. Because how many times you hear a project say, "Oh yeah, we're about to do this, buy and burn"? It seems to never happen. We're going to do this. It seems to never happen. So I think that's what really separates us, is our connections and the fact that we're actually doing what we say we're going to do. And all the community that is there right now that we have can vouch for the fact that we're doing what we say we're going to do.
Well said. Well said. I think the team is very crucial. This is actually a very common question here, but let's answer this question here. By Victoria, it says, as an investor, what potential returns or benefits can I expect from investing in Operation Pheonix? So
obviously I can't talk about returns. The only thing I can promise is that we're here to get the job done. Our ultimate goal is to make this what SafeMoon was in 2021. And well, you can go research if you don't know what their market cap got up to. So yeah, that's our ultimate goal. As a founder, it'd be super irresponsible for me to even start talking about goals and market caps and different things like that on what we want to see. But yeah, we're here to work, and we're here to get things done. And that's all I say. Come over to our community and see for yourself.
awesome. So I'm going to take the last one here, Sean, just because this one actually you touched on this already, but I think this is actually a very important aspect for the project. So by KF here it says, how does Operation Pheonix sell less DEX future impact trading strategies, particularly for those accustomed to traditional DEX platforms with different fees structure? So I guess what differentiates you guys?
So, I mean, like I said, for what I kind of said, the main thing that differentiates us from almost any other DEX, in particular PancakeSwap, is the fact that on every buy and every sell, we're giving back to the project instead of taking from the project. Also, once we get our Surge Wrap BNB going, we're actually going to be making sure that every project, at least 50% of that project with the underlying asset, is going to be going up in value. Again, unlike the other DEXs like PancakeSwap, where they're actually hurting the value by skimming your liquidity and selling. So the whole concept of our DEX is to bring everyone up in value, not down in value, which ultimately is what PancakeSwap and different DEXs like that do.
Yeah, very, very well thought out. I think a lot of incentives for everyone involved. So I think that's going to be the key strategy for growth, right? So you got to have get everyone involved. So very well thought out. All right, Sean, that's all the questions I'm going to take today. There's a lot of questions out there. I'm not sure how you guys come up with these crazy questions, but there's like a lot of questions. But, after this AMA here, I'm going to post their TG link. Make sure you guys join the TG. Go over there, give a meaningful feedback on the AMA, okay? Like, do not spam, do not, just stickers only, just a meaningful feedback. And we'll give you guys $10 to do that. But yeah, make sure you guys join their TG and ask further questions and do your research accordingly. So with that, Sean, thank you so much for being here. So at this time now, we're gonna do the giveaway. If you don't mind, Sean, if you can go through this list of all these listeners right now, just pick one random person. So that way it's not from us. So that way I don't come across. Usually we do a wheel spin, but Mike is not here today, so you can just pick one random person that's listening for a $15.
All right, I'll literally just scroll it through, and wherever my mouse lands will be who gets it. All right, so Banana Bun, congratulations.
Banana Bun. All right, Banana Bun. I will. Do you have the screen name, Sean? If you can grab that screen name, you DM me really quick. That'd be awesome, brother. I want to make sure I get the right one there.
Yep, no problem.
Perfect. All right, guys. So that's a $15 winner. Once the room open up in our chat room, we have 150 people listening right now around there. So let's do 1 to 200. Okay, 5 guesses only. 1 to 200. We'll do the $10 winner just for fun, and we will post a TG as well. Make sure you join the TG. Okay. After this, I will be uploading the video, the AMA, to YouTube. Again, feedback over there. And we'll pick a winner there as well. Sean, is there a last word for us?
Oh, like I said, I kind of said it already. If you're on the fence or you want to find out, hop on over to our community, watch us work, watch us get things done, ask any questions you have, and yeah, that's all I ask.
Brother, hey, I really like the ecosystem, right? Not financial advice. I like what you guys are doing nowadays. I think everything is well thought out regarding the projects. As you know, we do a lot of AMAs. We do this program called the Ego Stand, where a lot of new coming projects are coming to us for 5-10 minutes pitch. We'll talk, but I think I feel like your ecosystem, maybe your DEX, is actually very beneficial for new projects to list as well. So yeah, I'll pass the word around for sure.
Yep, for sure. Thanks for having us. And like I said, some may even say it's the ecosystem of 2024 coming up.
I love it. All
right, guys.
All right,
again,
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Sean. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up. And I appreciate everyone for being here. And we will open up the room very shortly. Oh, hey, I see my brother Mike just showed up there. Mike, have you been here? Looks like he's probably.
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Hey, I can barely hear you.
Oh, I got you on the headphones here. I was busy painting some trim here, but I caught most of it. It was a really nice AMA.
What are you saying? You say you've been busy taking shroom? Is that what you said?
Painting.
Oh man! I was like, what are you doing? Oh man!
That'd be a wild day.
Painting, huh? What you painting?
I'm painting all the door and floor and window trim right now. That's going in the new room that I've been working on.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Mike has been very busy. Life, right? I've been busy as well myself, but yeah, that was a great AMA, guys. That was actually a great AMA. I mean, they've been doing a heck of a job over there. They went from 100K to 11 million. Now it's sitting at 3.5.
That's quite,
You know,
that's quite the push there. That says a lot. You know, the community too behind them. They're doing a good
yeah,
job over there.
they are. I think they are. You know, the team is big and they've been building, right? And I think that the chart reflects that. So it's actually kind of nice to see a project that comes in that's actually done, been building, right? Not just raising money just to start building. So, and they actually do have an actual business concept that actually can generate revenue. So it's actually kind of nice to see. All right, guys. Well, I think that should wraps it up, huh? And we're gonna go open the room. Mike, if you can go ahead and DM me, pick a number, brother, 1 to 200.
You got
Santa
it, bro.
Mike is
Will
here.
do.
Don't pick the 69, man. You always pick the 69. I don't know why you like the 69 so much, Mike, but it seems like you always pick
My
that
favorite
number.
number.
All right, brother. All right,
All
guys.
right,
We'll
guys.
see you in the chat room.
Peace.
All right, bye bye.